IVALU ангайора аақатига kialunniimisuнгиттутиналуа IVALU sumippa sunnatamaa uyaqalua para sooruna sissumaarna oqaluuserisuannaqin
Inuuniniaqqusaakkakka ilinnuaqqusaartikkusunginnak.
Well, I already know I want to see this movie. Anders Walter joins me now. Hi, Anders.
Hey, how are you?
Good. The director of IVALU. This movie, even the trailer is gripping. Tell me a little bit about why you made this movie.
It's based on a Danish graphic novel that a friend of mine gave to me 3 years ago. And the graphic novel was just stunning and beautiful and poetic. And obviously it had a very difficult and sensitive story. It was telling about child abuse. But there was something about the visual language in the graphic novel that was very inspiring in terms of trying to adapt this into a short film.
How difficult is it to tell a story about something that's difficult to talk about, Anders?
It is difficult, but it's obviously important. Of course, a film, I think, always have to stand on its own. But obviously, when you're dealing with such a difficult subject matter, you're also aware that it's going to have an effect on people. So I think in my case, we didn't want to come across as naive. There's a slight bit of hope towards the end in this film. But obviously, a lot of children don't find that hope in their lives. But I think in order to tell a story like this, you have to kind of also maybe point a little bit in a direction where there's a slight bit of hope. So it's a balance, I guess, of not coming across too naive and of course dealing with this in a very authentic way.
Mm-hmm. Such an important part. What's it like to get an Oscar nod for a nomination?
That's fantastic. I'm just so honored and proud on behalf of especially these two girls who play the lead in this film. It took a lot of courage for them, also just living in the society they live in Greenland, to be the faces for this film, because it's a very sensitive subject matter in Greenland. So on their behalf and everybody who did the film, I'm proud and also, of course, happy that such a rather dark subject matter can make it all the way to the Oscars. So extremely proud.
Absolutely. And, it's interesting, you were mentioning the young actresses and what's it like to see people come before you and think, is this the person that's going to sort of share this story that I've worked so hard on and I want to portray? What's it like when you actually feel that connection and you say, that's the person?
That's the most fantastic experience in the world. I have worked with children in all of my films, and this is the 9th film that I've done. And every time you decide on a girl or a boy for a part, you get excited because they always show, the kids who have a great talent for acting are kids who dare to trust their instincts and have the courage to trust their gut feeling and are willing to share all their inner life. And those special ones that do this so fantastically as the two young ones in this case, that's such a special feeling working with kids like that. They constantly give you so many joys and gifts and come with a lot of authenticity because they're not trained actors. So yeah, it's a wonderful way to be creative and work with kids like that.
Absolutely. And let me ask you, when you think about the film being shown here in Ottawa on February the 19th at the ByTowne, and you know that people from the Ottawa area are going to gather in that theater and watch this film, what does that do, knowing that not only is it going to be shown, where you are, but here in the capital?
I think that's very exciting. Now, being part of the 5 Oscar nominees, we obviously get to a wide audience, and now it's traveling all across America for a theatrical run, and that's very exciting for a short film. So, and this is not only a problem that happens in Greenland; it's a universal problem that children are victims of child abuse. So for me, this movie has to travel the world. It has to start a dialogue. It has to do all kinds of things in terms of putting a finger on this problem. So, I'm very happy that it has such an outreach.
Who should see this film?
I mean, I want everybody in the world to see this film, but I'm equally as happy if like normal people who's just into watching movies, but obviously also politicians or anyone who has to do with helping or trying to help these children, or even better, if this film gets to some of the victims, because one thing they share is they feel very alone, and half of them, I know for a fact, feel like it's their own fault. So if the film gets to some of the victims and they feel like they have been seen, or it resonates with them in some way where they feel like maybe this is not my fault, then that would be very exciting, I think, and something that we would all want.
Congratulations. It really is incredible.
Thank you so much.
To have your work recognized in that way. And thanks for joining us here in Ottawa. I know you're in windy Denmark right now. We're so glad that you were able to spend time with us today. Anders Walter joining us today, Director of IVALU, and that movie, you could see it at the ByTowne on the 19th of February, which is fantastic. Great short film there, nominated for an Oscar. Stay with us on Daytime.